Welcome to another 3dsMax tutorial. My name is Kent, and today I will be teaching you about the bend and twist modifiers. In this tutorial, we will be taking this I-beam that I modeled and making it look kind of bent and twisted and mangled and just kind of beat up. The model will be available for download. The link is in the description. The texture is just one that I pulled off Google, so feel free to look around on there. Alright, let's get started. So, go over to your Modify tab and Modifier list. Help if we click on the object first, and there we go. And just as a general rule, I guess, the modifier for the bend and the twist really rely on how much geometry you have to work with. So as you can see, if we put in our bend here and then we try and type in angle and we type in, let's say, 45. We don't really have a nice bend there. We just have a 45-degree angle going on right there. Not very bendy. So let's go back here and let's put in some edge loops. Let's put one in here, 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 and there. So now let's go back to bend. We get a nice, pretty smooth bend. The more edge loops you put in there, the more smoother your bend is going to be. So now the direction. So the angle of our bend, that's the where your bend is going to happen on the vertical plane. So that's going to be the x and y axis. And the direction, it's going to be the bend relative to the horizontal plane. So in this instance, that's the x and z, or the x and, or sorry, the x and z or the y and z axis. Basically the z axis. The reason why it's relative is because your object can be rotated, so it depends which way your object is rotated that the direction is going to affect. So let's say we want this at, let's put it at 35 degrees. That's pretty nifty looking there. I like that. And yeah, I'll just leave it on the z-axis. These bend axes, they specify like the axis to be of which is going to be bent on. So if we choose like the x-axis, it's going to bend it on this, and then if we the y, it's going to bend it on that. So as you can see, it can just look really funky. So feel free to play around with this, but in this instance we're just going to be putting it on the z-axis. And these upper and lower limits, they apply limit constraints to the bend effect. So this upper limit, it's just going to be kind of just, it won't go, the bend effect won't go past a certain point at the upper part, and same with the lower part. But that has to do with when the pivot is in the center of the object. So not so much when our pivot is on what you could consider the edge of the object, like it is here. So I'm pretty satisfied with how this is right now. So let's go into our twist modifier. So this is also pretty similar to our bend modifier, the parameters. But I'm gonna kind of just drag my mouse instead of typing in the numbers. The bias, it's also gonna push it. Bias is gonna cause the twist to bunch up at either end. When the parameter is negative, the object twists closer to the gizmo center. When the value is positive, the object twist is more away from the gizmo center. So as you can see, I'll rotate here. We're just gonna go like that. You can see it moves up and then down. But that is pretty gnarly looking. This would be definitely something difficult to achieve with traditional modeling. So let's put that back like that. About like that. And then our limits effect are also going to have pretty similar to the bend limits, so they won't really do much because our pivot is right here. I can just play around with this. Same with whatever object you're working on, whether it's this object or one of your own. Definitely feel free to play around. Yep, that's it. So, hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to leave a like, and please subscribe. Have a good one. That is probably one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time.